Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the conversation series. I'm thrilled today to have founder and CEO of Privy, Miss Vanessa Franz, here with me today. I'm so excited. She's built this incredible platform for creators and is a creator advocate. So I'm so excited to jump into this with her today. So, Vanessa, thank you for joining me and letting me
Thanks
dip
for
my toe
having
into
me.
your world.
For sure. I'm so excited. I love talking about Privy. This is my bread and butter. This is my baby. So I'm here for it.
I love it. I wanna just jump into you've this is not the first company you've like founded and kind of created. You've had this entrepreneurship kind of spirit in you.
Mhm.
Where has that started? Was it in college? Was it before that? Were you a kid making jewelry and lemonade stands? Where did
Totally.
entrepreneurship start with for you?
I think it's baked into me because my dad is an entrepreneur. Ever since I was born, he was working a lot of the time.
Okay.
And so it wasn't until I was older that I understood that it was his drive. Like
Yeah.
it was just innate in him.
Yes.
And being the firstborn, we're known to feel that we need to accomplish big things.
Yeah.
So again, it's just kind of in me,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I may be conditioned to it. It's just something. I went to university. I actually wanted to be a nurse. Funny thing. Yeah, just because I love people. And I love to take care of people. And this could translate obviously into the creator space as well, just because I do love to mentor them and talk about that. But that can segue into other things. But I actually, after university, went into finance. So I did that for 7 years, and it was not for me. Working for a corporation was not it. I just knew I just was way more creative, and I didn't have the space to be creative in that environment. And so I did learn a lot. I was an assistant branch manager, so I learned how to work with people and how to kind of do that kind of thing. So that kind of I left that and then went straight into I self-taught myself web design. I did go to college for some coding.
Okay.
And so I started an agency, which is something I really, really loved. I love building, I love designing, and I love the business aspect of helping my clients build a credible brand online using digital marketing. So like reviews and SEO and all that marketing stuff. So I really, really loved that. And at the same time, I had a short-term rental company as well. So we managed short-term rentals like Airbnbs and stuff where the reviews part was kind of where that kind of set
Yeah.
in there. So yeah, I'm a busybody. I love to be busy. I love to have my hands in a lot of things and just take it on. And yeah, I mean, those two companies have been acquired since then. So that's where I've now pivoted into Privy full time. So
We talk about left brain and right brain. I think when you're go into a new role, a lot of what I like to do is build. I love to go in and build something for whatever this company is missing. I'm not somebody who likes to sit there and just turn the knobs and keep the lights on situation. I'm like, I love to build
yeah,
because
you're hands on.
yes, it's such a
Totally.
challenge. It's such a challenge. And
Hmm.
every single day, things are breaking, and you're like, okay, how can I fix these? Not
Yeah.
with duct tape, but how can I fix these properly so these things are working? I love that experience.
Yeah, and that's the kind of thing with startups. You're solving a problem too, right? So you are you're getting your hands dirty and like figuring out like what's going to work for, my target audience or my target customer, whatever. So again, like, and that's the building part of it. And so, yeah, you'll probably be a really good startup founder.
Well, I work for a startup currently, and so
Okay.
it is very much like that, but I was in healthcare beforehand and I was building there until I got to the point where I'm like, I'm not building anymore. I'm like,
Mhm.
I'm sitting here tinkering and I'm not feeling energized by what I'm doing, and I'm like, okay, I got to go do something new.
Totally.
I'm in
That's
some,
great. That's great
I,
that you saw that you needed that and then you took action. I think
yes,
that's awesome.
yeah, because I'm like I have to. It keeps the mind alive for me.
For sure.
I do want to hop into Privy,
For
and I
sure.
just want to start with first. I mean, you talked about with your rental company, like that's where some of the reviews came in. Like some of all of these pieces of the things that you have done are kind of influenced, and you see them in Privy. Why
Yeah.
did you start Privy?
Yes. Yeah. Good. Great question. So in 2020, COVID hit and there was no more rentals happening. Nobody was traveling. That died. My agency that was doing very, very well, completely
Yeah.
like
No
nothing
more.
overnight.
Yes.
And then, but at the same time, I had my digital marketing agency, web design agency. And again, my clients who were local clients, they had to shut their doors.
Yeah.
And so there was panic there. And they're like, well, we need to be even bigger online. We need to market ourselves even more. And so we really started looking at influencers, local and broadly. And so as I was, trying to find influencers that could help us make UGC videos and other kind of things, I really there was a pain point with me. Like, I'm like, I wish there was a kind of platform like Trustpilot or Google Reviews or Yelp, but for content creators or influencers. So
Okay.
that when I'm doing my due diligence to hire an influencer to represent my client's brand, I know they're the best fit because I can see peer-to-peer reviews or other brands' reviews based on that influencer.
Yep.
So it's just like in the way that, you pick when you're searching for a restaurant, you're looking for an Italian restaurant, you're going to go to Google and you're going to pick the
Yes.
best Italian restaurant in your local area based on reviews, right? And it translates the same way for creators because creators are businesses at the end of the day when they're looking to monetize. And so that was the pain point I came across. And so I was just like, I've got to build this. It makes
Right.
perfect sense. Like there, and so I started searching. There wasn't anything like that online yet.
Okay.
And I knew that the space was evolving, right? And so I'm just like, I know that this could be really useful for a lot of people. And so
Yep.
I was pregnant at the time. So I really enjoyed this. She was my last baby. So I took the 2 years to enjoy her. And then I started building in 2023. Um, and yeah, so that idea though, it really happened in 2020 when everything just kind of,
I
and I
love
needed
it.
to really pivot to like, I got to figure something out.
Yes. Yeah. And there is, I mean, I like how simple in the sense of like you brought the analogy, like when you're going to Google or Yelp and you're looking for something that we are all doing every single day, like it's a really simple concept, but I love how you brought it to the creator space because it is probably one of the biggest markets now. Like, how do you find like you see someone on TikTok and you're like, is this person going to be the best fit? I love that you have the capabilities to be able to look and say, if you're talking about this subject, yes.
Yeah, it's a great way for brands to conduct due diligence because somebody can, look great online,
Yeah.
but we don't know what they're like in the back end and how
Right.
they work with other people, other creators, other brands. And so it's really about building a credible and trustworthy brand online by utilizing reviews.
Okay. Now, your business model, are you more trying to connect with businesses or creators, or are you split between recruiting both of those to come in?
Right now, focusing on creators,
Okay.
really getting them to understand the importance of reviews. This is a new concept.
Yeah.
And I think initially I didn't realize that majority of influencers and creators aren't business savvy in the way that they
Yeah.
don't actually know what it is to market themselves
Yep.
and how what we do in the business world to market them can translate to them as well and using those best practices. And so for me, I'm doing a lot of educating and a lot of mentoring as well, which I'm totally happy to do. So I'm really just focusing on the creators to get them to understand the importance of reviews, getting them onto the platform, and then they ask their past brand collaborations or their audience or their community based on what their goals are to review their content.
Once again, it's such a simple way to put it's almost like a portfolio building for creators,
Yeah.
which is a place that needs more attention to, because I think when a lot of people are like putting together decks or slideshows or whatever creative website to be able to show off the work that they have done to be able to sell themselves better, which I think is another layer of that marketing themselves and their brand. Like a lot of people do not know how to sell themselves.
And reviews are such a great way to do that. And what's really cool about Privy is we're also a discovery platform,
Right.
right? So the more reviews that a creator can collect, the higher you're ranked on the platform. And so that gives you more visibility online. That's that marketing aspect, right? So, an internet user wants to look for, and that's where we want to be the place where you discover new creators based on reviews like Rotten Tomatoes for
Yes.
movies and TV series. And so you're like, oh, I really want to watch dog content,
Yeah.
right? And so you find a top rated
Yeah.
dog a creator on Privy, right? Just be the place to like search and find new creators. Because sometimes you're really just kind of handcuffed to an algorithm like on YouTube or TikTok, right? You're just fed the For You page, and algorithms are great, but sometimes you want to have more control in the way that you're searching a database.
Absolutely. Break it down into categories and things like that. I think that's
Yeah,
so important, especially, I mean, it just makes everybody's lives easier. It really
yeah.
does. It makes it a lot easier for you to be able to do your job.
And people love, we trust reviews. We go to Reddit. We read people's experiences. We read Amazon reviews. We trust strangers on the internet with and people love to read it. And so again, it's just the perfect kind of
Yeah.
amalgamation of the two worlds.
I can tell you, like, I read reviews more for clothing items before I buy them than I do any other type of review most of the time, because I'm like, what, like, is this purse going to break on me in the next 3 weeks after I buy it?
Totally. Yeah.
I want to ask the naming of Privy. Where did you
Oh,
come up with the name of Privy?
I was Googling like definitions, and
Okay.
Privy was sharing in the knowledge of.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the meaning. And so I really like that.
yeah.
So there are a few other brands with Privy. So I'm fighting for like the first rank on like Google right now. I'm just like, oh, there's a few spots out here. Oh. But I just did Privy reviews just because it is sharing in the knowledge of, right?
Yeah.
Like you find a creator that you absolutely love, you become part of their community. Maybe you're subscribed to their Twitch and you're like, oh man, I love them so much. I want to vouch for them and I want to write them a review and I want to share my knowledge of this
Yeah.
content to the world. And that's where I
Love
kind
it.
of Privy was kind of perfect for that. Yeah.
In building Privy and the, concept coming alive in 2020 and then 2023 kind of really kicking this off, what were some of the challenges that came with building Privy? Was it the people buying in? Like, what was it for you?
I think I say this a lot. A lot of creators have what I call sign up fatigue, right? There are so many tools online, and the barrier of entry to create a tool is low now, especially with AI. There's no code tools. It's very easy to launch a startup. So it is getting in front of creators and being like, hi,
Yes.
would you give us a chance?
Yeah.
Do you understand this concept? Do you have time to go, out of your very busy schedule making content to collect reviews? So it's getting creators to understand the importance of reviews, how it can really help them. So it's that educating piece, and
Yeah.
then really getting the traction of them like setting it up. So it's just kind of like plug and play, or just like set it and forget it. But I think that's because people love it. When I was initially, building my MVP, getting my wait list going, people were like, "Oh my God, that!" And everyone I talked to is just like, That's brilliant. Of course. Why doesn't that exist?
Yeah.
But it's really getting people on and being active users and like getting them to take time out of their day to get reviews. But I think once we really start getting that brand awareness and where reviewers can, where they already can, but they can understand that like, oh, there is a platform out there where I can just go without being asked and write a review on my favorite creator. So just those are two of the main things. And of course, like it's just me. So having I have a team in India there who are fantastic and everything, but obviously it's like the time difference
Yeah.
that can be quite challenging. And then just it is just me as well. So
Yeah.
hopefully one day hiring a CTO in my local area or at least in
Yeah.
my time zone
Yeah.
and then and then going up from there. But with everything, it's a challenge, right? So it's like I just know that like as a if as a startup founder, if you're not obsessed with your idea and your product and you're in some way like delusional that you think this is the best idea ever, if I don't believe it, nobody else is going to believe it. So I think yeah, that's where I am with that.
And I love that you point out the education piece as part of some of the challenges of educating the creators because what I love is part of Privy's YouTube page, like you are showing people how to sign up. You're showing people how to use the platform, which a lot of people are, do, but not in the sense of like you are using it in a bunch of different case studies to be able to say, hey guys, this is literally how easy it is
Hmm.
be able to do all of these.
Yeah.
It's so educational and it's easy to be able to do.
Yeah, and I think it's important too, right? Like again, like when a creator signs up and they're onboarding, I can think that it's super simple, but that's a big assumption for who's I am technical, and like it could be simple to me, but maybe for millions it's not. And so if I can show them how to do it and then ask for their advice or feedback so that we can even make it even more simple, right? So, because there's an option when you're onboarding, like add your searchable tags or your keywords. For many creators, I was noticing when they were signing up, they weren't adding anything there. And I'm like, that's so important because you can add very granular parts of your niche in here.
Okay.
And so when our users are searching our database, they can find your specific content based on those keywords. You have to add them, like if you want to be discovered for that particular topic. So I just saw that and I was like, I got to act on this. I need to make a video and I could blast it off to my user base. So it
Love
is
it.
just important to just be like on top of it and know that, wait a minute, they're not fully utilizing this platform. You better do that.
Yeah. Off the top of your head, do you know how many creators you have using Privy now today?
Yeah, so we have this morning I checked, it was 14,400. Yeah. I think yesterday I had 50 signups and I'm just like, oh, that's so great. Like in the beginning, every time I had a sign up, I would personally email them like, thank you so much for signing up. Again, like I understand there are so many tools out there and you only have so much time. The fact that you took time to understand previous concept and sign up means so much to me. And it still says I don't have the time now to keep up with personal emails for every single creator that signs up. But like just know that I'm so appreciative and I let them know you can contact me anytime through intercom, which is our chat or email kind of workflow there. And but yeah, that's
It's
that's
I think a lot of people talk about it, but it's when you are creating something, whether you're a founder, a startup, whatever it may be, a podcast host that's starting out, like whenever you get a yes or a sign up, it truly is like the biggest like you almost want to cry in the sense because you're like someone is taking a chance on me. Someone has agreed to lend me their time or to jump on board whatever crazy idea we've got going on out there and it
yeah.
is the biggest like I'm doing
It
something.
keeps you going. It gives you the drive. Like I have drive, but this just kind of it's the extra boost,
Yeah.
right? It gives you more confidence every single sign up. It all of its, traction is obviously number one when it comes to this kind of thing, but it proves a concept that you had in your head. You
Yeah.
built it, which is huge. And now, now I'm having to market it founder led, which you have to do these days. So you can't be stealth and you can't be in the background. You have to be the face of your product. And for people, yeah, to believe in it and sign up just means so much, and it keeps you going.
Absolutely.
Like I have, knock on wood, I've not had any burnout yet, but it does. It really, really does. And just so they know, like, if any of them are watching now, I'm so appreciative from the bottom of my heart. Like this is, I just know this is what I was meant to do. And being a creator advocate, like anything I can do to help them is honestly what I want to do.
Hopping into that piece real quick, we've seen the creator economy just absolutely boom in the last 4 years since 2020 when the pandemic happened and TikTok became this massive thing. And even before that, blogging and all of these different things were kicking up. How do you see the creator economy kind of evolving and changing as we get more into this, as more and more businesses are looking to bring in influencers of all different types?
Yeah, we're gonna see a lot of creators needing to be a lot more business savvy, a lot more savvy with marketing, and having to do everything possible to have a pristine marketing strategy. It's not gonna, there's a lot of creators, 300 million creators right now. I did see later.com, they said businesses, the second most difficult thing for businesses when it comes to influencer marketing is finding the right influencer. And so for me, I'm teaching my creators how easy is it for you, for brands to discover you, to find you? Are you making it easy? Like it might be easy to a lot of people like, oh, it's so easy to find an influencer for your campaign. There's 300 million of us. Like, no, that's why it's so difficult. Like it's hard to, siphon through everything. And so make it as easy as possible to be discovered.
Discoverability for a lot of people too. Like, it's not a joke when you see people put, oh, link in my bio. Like, those links in the bio sometimes have this whole catalog of different places to find everybody too. And I'm like, it's a blessing and a curse at the same time because you're scrolling through all this stuff and you're like, what matters to me? But at the same time, like, you're truly getting the full breadth of where you can see this full person, the experience they've had, and kind
Mhm,
of what topics they're hitting on. But it's
mhm.
like, I see it all the time. All creators, link in my bio. I use it too sometimes. I'm not going to say that I don't, but I'm like,
Well, I do too, of course. Yes.
yeah,
Yeah. But like, yeah, having so many, it just people get overwhelmed. Yeah, psychologists say like only give humans like a couple options. We get overwhelmed by too many. So yeah. I mean, an easy way to be just like a lot of influencers, creators don't even know to put like their email in their link in bio, right? Like that is the number one thing brands need.
it's incredible.
And a lot of times it's not even there,
It's
right?
that's where
Simple
that
things like,
Yeah, that's where that business savvy comes in because
yes.
that's like email.
And
That's
can
how I
brands contact you?
yes, yes,
Yeah. So
100%.
like things like that. So just yeah. But I see like a lot of B2B influencers coming out, and like Kristen Busquet, you
Yeah,
interviewed. Yeah, she's great, right? She's teaching creators how to be businesses,
yes.
and she's mentoring them. That's going to be really big, right? So we're going to see a lot of those creators just teach like people are influencers that are able to monetize and teaching cohorts and having memberships and stuff. So I think that's going to be really, really big in the influencer space because again, a lot of influencers have no idea,
Yeah.
right? They might have made content since they were young and come into some virality.
Yeah.
But how do they monetize on that virality is going to be what really sets the creators apart here.
Now, with this future outlook, how does then Privy fit into this future outlook of this creator economy evolving?
Yeah, so Privy is going to be just something that is known that you need to do in your marketing strategy.
Right.
Like, I want to become a full-time creator or part-time, but I want to monetize and I want to pitch to brands and I want brands to find me and I need to be discoverable. I need to be on Privy. I need to be collecting reviews. I need to do anything I can to show that I have a credible and trustworthy brand online.
I love it. I love how it's just another little extra layer in that marketing funnel in the sense of how everything fits together for somebody.
Yeah, it's like SEO for creators.
Yep.
Yes.
How do we get your name top of Google? That's what.
Exactly. If somebody Googles your name and your Privy profile comes up and you have that, in the SERP, you have those review little snippets at the bottom of the sub headings. That's huge for click through. When somebody sees a review snippet in Google search, they click through 70% more than if it didn't. Yes. And so that's what I'm saying. If your name comes up as a creator, in Google search results with your review snippets and they see, 100 reviews, they're going to click through and they're going to start reading all of that. That's more visibility than you had months before when you didn't have a Privy profile. So
70%. That's higher than I
people,
thought.
yeah,
Wow, okay. I like that.
they love those review snippets. It's just automatic, like, oh, it just intrigues people. Like, what do those reviews say?
It truly is.
Yeah,
Like we were talking about earlier, no matter what you're looking for, whether it's a restaurant clothing item, like it's a sort of a validation that you're looking to
yes,
get, which is extremely important when you're trying to go and make a purchase or a business decision or whatever it may be.
yeah.
I want to hit on mentorship because you've
Mm.
talked about it a few times, mentioned it. First off, like what has your mentorship or your like have you had mentors? What has that meant to you and how have you then turned around and said, I'm going to go help others do the same?
Yeah, I don't have a mentor specifically. I do have LinkedIn, and I am part of the women in influencer marketing community. So I'm on Slack there. Learn so much from brand agencies to talent managers um, everybody that's basically in the creator space is in there. And
Yes.
so just being able to ask anything and learn directly from them has been so monumental. So I haven't per se needed a specific mentor, but I have a whole community of people who really make up the whole creator ecosystem. Yeah, so that's been really, really valuable.
I love that. I think we talk about it quite a bit, but just having that group of people that you can be like, you know what, this may be a dumb question. It may not be a dumb question,
Yeah,
but can somebody just shed some light on it for me? I think it's important just to be able to have that person or group to be able to fall back on and say, hey, I got this really wacky idea.
yeah,
What do people think? And it's
yeah.
almost like a gut check kind of person before you go and do something.
And also, you know, I can hear the problems that they're coming across in influencer industry, right? From the mouths of the people that are in the ecosystem. So I can be like, what can I do to solve that problem immediately for them? Right? So whether that be Privy or whatever else technical wise, it's just that community is so important for that as well. Like, how can I help as well? I don't just take necessarily, but how can I help with my experience and my technical skills on how to solve the problem that you're facing?
You've got your own audience base right there in that very group just to be able to
Mhm.
say, hey, what are some problems and things that are happening and almost demographic wise, like just where can there be help here? My last question for you, Vanessa, is just what continues to drive your passion and your fire for what you're doing? We've seen how in love you are with what you're doing, but what
Mhm.
continues to drive it every single day?
And my family, yeah. I have two wonderful children. I have a son and a daughter, and just want to be an example for them, what it means to remain consistent and to work hard and having a vision and seeing out that vision. especially in a very male predominant industry for my daughter, being, just being that, you know, do what you want to do regardless, even if you're, um, yeah. So that's basically it is my family. Obviously, I have my own drive and my own vision and my own goals, but it really is them and seeing, them asking, what did you do today, mommy? Or, what are you doing today? You have an app? Oh, that's so cool. I play games on my apps, right? Like little things. It's just like it is. It's just because I always say to them, I'm like, you don't have to be the smartest, but you have to be the hardest working to do anything. You have to remain consistent, have goals,
Yeah.
finish everything you set out to complete. And so I have to also do that as well and be the example set to them. So
I very much I was like yourself. My dad I've watched him work for 30 plus years in corporate
mhm,
America, and so I've learned hard work and dedication from him, and just watching him work for as long as he has had, and in a very big space of software. And so every single day I'm like, what can I go tackle, and what
mm,
I go just not prove myself every single day, but prove myself in the sense of I can do this as well. Like you were talking about, in a male dominated world right now, like I can go do this too. I can go
yeah,
kick your butt just like any other guy.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Showing, yes, just being the leaders of the women that are going to be coming up in the workforce as well. And, and hopefully one day, when I've either been acquired or, hired another CEO, because I won't be doing this for the rest of my life, then
yeah.
moving into that mentor role and really helping underrepresented individuals in this space. Yeah.
I love that. Vanessa, thank you so much for taking the time with me today and letting me dive in privy in your entrepreneur mind. But I just so appreciate it, and I can't wait to see how privy continues to grow as we keep evolving.
Yes, I'm so excited as well. And thank you so much for having me on here.
Yeah. You guys, I'm gonna have all of Vanessa's socials linked down below, as well as Privy, so you guys can go check it out. If you're a creator, go take a look at Privy and see what you guys can do there. But just Vanessa, thank you so much, and I'm so grateful for you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Likewise.
as always, I will see you guys back here next time. Bye, y'all.